Good almost afternoon, Superfriends, and welcome to the Friday, I'm looking at my phone, August 14th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Dana. I am an intuitive, I am a medium, I am a mom, I am a semi-retired nurse. I am delighted to be here with you today. I think we're going into the realm of relationship for today's message because I saw a masculine and a feminine as I heard what I heard, which I'm about to share with you, but I'm going to give you my preamble first. As with everything I do, please take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and know that these messages are timeless. So whether you're tuning in real time on Friday, August 14th, or at a later date, if you are tuning in, you're likely going to find yourself here. But if you do not, go ahead and turn me off, scroll down below, find a different message, or wait for the next one to come. Rocking some wet hair today, but at least you know I showered. And I do have, and you will find down below in the description box, an offer that is exclusively for my YouTube community for personal channeled messages attuned to your personal energy. So you can find those down in the description box. I would love to have you in my inbox telling me that you want a message. My kids are about to start school again, so I'm going to have a little bit more time. And so we're going to see how this goes. I'm trying something new, but I would love to be able to deliver a message personal to you. So, no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and I'm going to share with you what I heard and saw a few hours ago when I sat in meditation for us. I don't know if you all remember the old TomTom navigators, like before our cell phones had Google Maps and Apple Maps and all of those things. I'm also just seeing now, which is making me laugh. Back in the day when I was racing bicycles, we like literally printed out maps from MapQuest. I'm seeing that, but I'm hearing, and what I heard was, that's just giving me a giggle because I'm old. My children will never know anything about MapQuest and actually having to find remote things off of a piece of paper and or using an actual map from AAA map books. I'm taking myself down memory lane and it has nothing to do with our message. All right, focusing. The old TomTom voice, the old TomTom navigator, I heard recalibrating. Now, I know that TomTom used to say recalculating when you were moving in a specific direction and you took a wrong turn. And what I'm feeling is that someone took a wrong turn or made, actually what I'm seeing now as I'm feeling into the energy is someone made a swift exit, and it feels like the divine masculine, but these are energies, divine masculine and divine feminine, as you well know if you've been hanging out with me for any length of time. We all have both. We have masculine and feminine energies in us, both the divine ones and sometimes the wounded ones. We are messy humans, and that's okay. But in this instance, I am seeing the masculine energy, or the one being ruled by the masculine energy or dominated by the masculine energy, making a swift exit from what I'm assuming, but I will dive in further, is a relationship. And I heard TomTom, not Siri, saying recalibrating, which means to me that the feminine, actually the feminine and the masculine here, are both recalibrating. There was a swift exit. It feels very unexpected. And both of these humans, both of these beings are recalibrating to a new normal. Now, for some of you, I'm seeing that this happened in the past. So whether that is several months ago or several years ago, whenever it happened, and for some of you it's about to happen, time is very bendy here, and I'm seeing the different timelines unfolding, and you choose your unique timeline and find where you fit here. But when this exit happened, both the masculine and feminine needed to, and are still in the process of, so still in the process of feels very true regardless of when this happened for you. Both of you are still in the process of recalibrating after this masculine swift exit. What I am seeing here, what I'm feeling here, I'm going to stay with the feminine for a minute because he went that way. So we're going to let him go that way. I will tune into his energy, but I'm going to stay with the feminine here for a moment. And what I'm feeling here is that The reason why, if this happened significantly in the past, the reason why this is still staying with you is because some of you experienced this masculine's energy in a way that you have never experienced another masculine's energy, and it is staying with you. It is staying with you because the feminine that I'm feeling here is identifies with that possibly eldest daughter, because that's what I just heard, like eldest daughter, the one in control, like early parenthood, like you were in a parental role in your childhood. You are strikingly independent, is what I just heard. Strikingly independent. You have always known nothing but independence, perhaps independence to a fault, perhaps independence to the degree that it was never safe to let anyone in, and independence to the degree that you, up until this particular masculine, up until this divine masculine who entered your life, you had never actually softened enough to allow yourself to receive the masculine energy in this particular way, in the particular way that the masculine who ended up taking a swift exit turned up for you, in the way that that energy showed up for you. You were able to unfurl, is what I just heard, and I saw like a fiddlehead fern just like rolling itself out in this very beautiful way. What it's telling me is that you were really able to soften and relax into the energy of, into the arms of this seemingly healed and or healing divine masculine. And this was unlike anything you had ever experienced before in your life. This is what I'm hearing. And the reason why it has been so difficult to recalibrate with that masculine's exit, and what I'm seeing is you, like, I'm seeing many off ramps. I'm not gonna lie, there's like I can just see where many of your masculines have exited. Many of you have like shown those masculines to the exit. Okay, you can get off now. You are no stranger to letting masculine energies go. And yet, when this one left, when this masculine took the exit, I can see where it truly rocked and shifted your world. And the reason why, Spirit is telling me, the reason why this masculine's exit rocked your world in a particular way this time, and in a way that is requiring you to recalibrate to a new energy, is not because you are inherently unstable without a masculine energy in your life. In fact, you are inherently stable no matter what. And your stability, what I'm being shown here, is that your stability, even when this masculine, when the masculine in question took his exit, the most recent one, it never rocked your stability. But what it did, sorry, I'm hearing, what it did open in you, and I feel like this is the recalibration. What it opened in you, what being with this masculine opened in you, was a particular entry point into your own softness. What I'm hearing is an entry point into your own feminine energy, and I think I'm understanding what's happening here. So this particular divine masculine supported you in a way that you had never been supported before. You allowed this masculine to come in and support you and hold you in a frequency that you had never allowed yourself to be held in up until he came into your life. And in that supporting, you unfurled, you opened, and in his exit, there is this openness, and the recalibration is in your own system trying to decide. I can see like there's an in-battling happening here. There's an in-battling happening inside of you where it's like, do I close, and do I close off, and do I close off to ever allowing myself to experience this softness again? Like, was that a mistake is what I'm hearing. Did I just make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Was this a mistake? And what Spirit wants you to know is, no, it is not a mistake, that this is exactly what was needed. In fact, this might have been the very role that this masculine played in your life. sorry, I'm seeing for some of you this masculine took his exit and he ain't coming back. Like he's gone, and we don't want him to come back for some of you. And for others, I can see where there is still an open portal for this masculine to return. I can see, I'm getting a lot of freeway imagery, and I'm seeing like a clover leaf kind of thing, like where he took the exit, but he like went off on the exit ramp and he's coming back on. So for some of you, this masculine is actually coming back. For others, he took that exit and it's just going off into the distance. And I'm hearing this very funny accent, like he ain't for you. He ain't for you. So wherever you see yourself here, and I think you'll already know, like if there's still openness to that particular masculine's energy, then you will see yourself here. If he ain't for you, if he isn't yours, if he's gone and you're like, and don't let the door hit you, we're going to let him go. But what we want to keep open is this openness that this masculine allowed to happen, this openness and this softness that happened in your beingness that is actually readying you to receive the masculine that is for you in a way that you have never been open to receiving a masculine before. So even what I'm hearing, if this is you and he's gone and he's not coming back, nor do you want him to come back, we want you to stay open. We want you to keep open. We want that fern to remain unfurled, because that fern is actually going to be a bridge to the divine masculine that is going to come, that is going to meet you in your frequency, and that is going to be able to support you. What I'm hearing is the softness that you experienced, the unfurling that you experienced, allowed you to step into your feminine energy, your divine feminine energy, in a way that you have never permitted yourself or been held and allowed yourself to experience before. So there was something about this masculine and the way he came in and held you, that you allowed him to take some of what you were holding. You allowed him to take the masculine role in your system that you have been upholding maybe for your entire lifetime. You allowed him to step in and hold some of that form for you, so that you could then move into that creation frequency. I can see where some of you, your spirituality deepened. I can see where some of you began making music, began making art, began creating, and began to trust and lean on this masculine. And I'm not seeing in an inappropriate way. It might have felt uncomfortable. It might have felt inappropriate. It might have felt vulnerable is the word that I'm hearing. It might have felt exceptionally vulnerable to you as a feminine who has been largely in your masculine energy for most of your adult life, to finally have systemic permission, energetic permission, to soften into your own creative frequencies, your own creation frequencies is what I'm hearing, as this masculine who stepped in and loved you so well. And for some of you, I'm hearing for a very brief period of time, but you were loved well. You were loved well enough to surrender the masculine to him, and he took it willingly is what I'm seeing. I'm going to move into his energy here in a minute, but he took that willingly and in fact encouraged you to soften into his masculinity, and you did. And then with that swift exit, which I am going to talk more about, I am going to look at that in a minute. With that swift exit, I'm hearing like, WTF, what the fuck just happened? I'm hearing, and I felt this before, so this might be a story that I have channeled into before. It's like that like you were breathing and you were breathing together, and suddenly you couldn't breathe anymore because he took his leave. And you've been in this place of like feeling open but wanting to close, and unsure of whether you should stay open or close off. And what spirit wants you to know is, no, stay open. Stay open. You don't have to stay open to him if he is in the distance and he is not your person, but that fern that unfurled is going to bridge you to the masculine who will be able to stay, who will be able to hold you in that frequency of his divine masculinity, so that you could surrender fully into your feminine power of creation. And I can see where this becomes co-creation for the two of you. I can see where the two of you are going to grow and thrive. I heard throw and grive. Strike that, reverse it. You're going to grow and thrive. I can see where some of you might be working together, not just like creating a life together, but like really building something together, really co-creating, because there is this beautiful balance of structure and form, and structure and form, and creation and container to hold it. So that person is coming. If it's not this person who fled, then that person is coming, and you are being really encouraged to hold that vision of it. For what I'm seeing is like a fern unfurled from your heart and waiting for your person to cross that bridge and come all the way in, so that you can begin co-creating together. And what I'm seeing here is that part of this recalibration is your up leveling. It's your stepping in to the timeline fully. What I'm hearing now is like this was divinely not just inspired, but divinely coordinated, because this masculine got to a place where he was no longer able to hold the structure. And again, we're going to come there in a minute, but this was ordained. It was arranged by spirit, so that you, divine feminine, could really feel into the way that you don't need to collapse when your masculine leaves, the way that you can maintain your balanced masculine energy with your balanced divine feminine energy. So even when that masculine left and there was this openness, you did not, what spirit is showing me is you did not collapse, you did not close off, you did not harden. You're still open, but you're like, am I supposed to stay here? But what spirit is showing me is that it is proof in your nervous system that you do not need to collapse when someone leaves, that you can be open, to receiving. This new timeline that you're stepping into is about staying open to receiving your masculine, but to receive in all ways, and to co-create in a divine union. And that could be just in divine union with yourself, by the way, even though I am seeing this fern bridge to someone else, it can also, if you are not connecting with that, if you're like, nope, I need a break, I can see where your masculine and your own feminine have come back into balance. And we just want to keep that balance there. We don't want the masculine energy to come in and take over again and close off the feminine and close off that softness. So there's another level here. If you're not ready to invite someone else in on this next timeline, the invitation is to really keep your masculine and feminine energy in balance. Whereas before, what I'm seeing is that masculine energy was much more prominent in your system. And so this divine orchestration was to help you open to receiving and readying yourself to receive. And even in the masculine's absence, to recognize that you don't need to collapse, nor do you need to move your masculine energy in to overtake your feminine energy. You can stay in both and hold yourself open to both energies flowing through you in equal parts, and or both energies flowing through you in equal parts, with still this bridge to what is to who is to come. Okay, I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to attune to the exit ramp with our divine masculine, and I'm going to see what I can feel over here from him. What I'm feeling over here from him is the genuine desire to be your divine masculine. I can feel that genuine love. I can feel that genuine desire. I can feel his desire to hold you, to be the structure, to be the divine masculine to your divine feminine. I can see and feel that desire there, and I can see that place where his desire really outweighed his capacity. That's what I'm hearing. The desire outweighed the capacity. And it feels like in the beginning of your relationship, the desire, he recognized who you are, who you were then, who you are now. He recognized you as his divine feminine. He recognized your power. He recognized your purity. He recognized all that you are. And yes, he desired you. And so he moved into that place. And what I'm hearing is that his desire really outweighed his capacity. And as your relationship grew, his desire grew as well, but his capacity was shrinking depending upon what was happening in his life outside of the relationship, but also what was happening inside of the relationship. I can feel the overwhelm of desire feeling overwhelming to this masculine's nervous system, and I can feel the outside world pressing on his capacity. And what I'm hearing from spirit is it was not the desire to be with you so much as the capacity to be in the form that it would take to truly hold you that collapsed. And as that was collapsing, I'm hearing that there was no communication around the collapse, or the collapse or the communication. Wait, I'm going to be quiet for a second. The communication that was coming in around the collapse was directly triggering a wounding in the feminine. I'm hearing the wounding in the feminine made it so that the communication from the masculine was not coming across, that there were lines that were crossed, and the feminine did not understand that what the masculine was asking for was space and time. What the feminine made an assumption, and if this is you, this is what I'm hearing. It may or may not be true for you. I'm just going to share what was hearing. The feminine made an assumption based on all of those other exit ramps is what I'm seeing. The feminine made an assumption that if this masculine was going away, it was because there was another person, there was another entity. This masculine was not desiring her enough, is what the feminine was feeling, and he was going toward another entity to escape this, like the escape hatch. What I'm seeing is the escape hatch. The feminine thought that the escape hatch was another entity, was another feminine. And this may or may not be true depending upon whether you're seeing yourself here. There may or may not have been another entity. If there was another entity, if there is another entity, I'm hearing that that this entity required much less because there is much less desire. So there's an ease that escape hatch, and that escape hatch provided an ease that this relationship did not, because this relationship, this divine masculine, divine feminine relationship, is a conscious relationship that requires continual tending, continual nourishing, continual nurturement. And that was happening, and it was happening, and it was happening, and then the masculine was at capacity and he took the exit ramp. For some of you, he did take an exit ramp to another entity, but what I'm seeing is that entity did not pull on his capacity nearly so much, not because she was a better match, but because she required less, because she is less, is what I'm hearing. And take that as you will. Cross watchers, I apologize if you are seeing yourself as the masculine, or if you're seeing yourself as the other feminine entity here. I don't know what to say. This is not a personal commentary. See yourself as you do. But if there is another entity, if there was another entity, it was not competition, it was distraction. What I'm seeing here in this masculine energy is that if this is the cloverleaf masculine, if this is the masculine that is coming back, I'm seeing that this masculine is on an up ramp. I'm seeing that there is an upslope of healing that is being done in order to open this masculine's capacity to be with the feminine. I can't get my arm back there because I have an injury from a rotator cuff and from mom juice box arm in the minivan. I can't get back there, but what I can see is that it's flowing around, and I can see it's on an up ramp coming toward the feminine on this higher timeline. And what I'm hearing here in this meeting point is that this masculine knows that he cannot approach until he is up on that higher timeline, and the feminine, you know that you cannot allow this masculine back in until, what I'm seeing is, until he's in his emperor energy. When he is in his emperor energy, he can come back in, and the two of you are going to be in this beautiful co-creation frequency. It's going to be gorgeous. It's not, what I'm hearing is it's not going to be any less work than before, but what I'm seeing is that this masculine is going to have the capacity to do the work because he has learned, he is recognizing that there is no one else who will meet you. There is no one else who will match you. And if he wants to up level himself, he needs to ramp up and come to you as an emperor, come in correct. What I'm hearing also, I just heard something, sorry, it was there and then I lost it because there's so much energy here. I'm going to just slow down for a minute and see if I can find it. And if I can't, I'm going to leave it behind. And it feels like it's related to, oh, I have it. I have it. So what I'm seeing is that when the two of you initially came together on this lower timeline, still as divinity, still as divine masculine and divine feminine, what I'm seeing is that divine feminine, you were continually up leveling, and the masculine was up leveling with you. And he was feeling that, like, that your frequency, he was feeling that creation frequency in you. And part of the magic that was between you is that he was stimulating your creation frequency, and you were expanding and you were expanding and you were rising and you were rising. And part of the overwhelm with capacity is that this masculine felt like he was riding your wave, he was with you, he was growing with you, and then suddenly he suddenly felt like you were over the top of him, and he was never going to be able to level up. And that's part of what that capacity piece is, that he felt as though he was never going to be able to level up. But what I'm seeing here is in your departure, there was on that exit ramp went down for a while. It went like, it was not an exit ramp up, it was an exit ramp down. And what I'm seeing is that this masculine is rising up. The one that is coming back on the clover leaf, the one who is gone is just gone. But the one who is coming up on this clover leaf, there was a sinking that happened, and you did not sink. You might have done this, you might have dropped down, but you came back up, and now you're going up and up and up again. This masculine dropped down into a much lower vibration, and he is coming back up, and he knows he wants to come back up, and he is doing his damnedest, I'm hearing, to come back up and rise up on that clover leaf. What I'm seeing is that in order for him to come into his emperor energy, it is entirely possible that this masculine is waiting to come into his emperor energy before he approaches. But what I'm seeing now is that he is going from like, he went from king to knight to page to kind of like the fool in not a good way, maybe the fool in reverse, like just like collapsed. And now he's coming back up, and what I'm seeing is he can approach you as a king. It is safe for him to approach as a king, and you'll know what this feels like in your body. He'll know a little bit about what it feels like. You're more attuned than this masculine is, but this masculine is more attuned than he believes he is. He just doesn't have the language for it. This is your language that I'm speaking in, and he's learning your language. He can approach as a king, and when he approaches, he is going and meet you. He's going to meet you, and you are going to help him rise into that emperor. But there's a correction here, is what it is. He doesn't necessarily need to approach you as emperor, but he does need to approach you in that king energy, which is that readiness to up level and step into emperor. And what I'm seeing is that the two of you coming together will rise you both up in your authority, in your creativity, and in the timeline that you are meant to go into together. And that's what I have. I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to say please like and share and subscribe and hype and tell your friends, and come sign up and let me channel into your energy and deliver a personal message for you. You can find that in the description box. Thank you so much. Oh, this weekend I turn into a soccer mom. Those of you who have been with me for over a year, you probably remember soccer season, fall last year, where I'm sometimes gone from morning till night on Saturdays and Sundays. If I can come in tomorrow or Sunday, it's going to be a minivan reading, a minivan message, but I will try and do that. I think my daughter is going to be having a play date tomorrow. So if she is, and I'm alone while they're warming up, I will channel a minivan message for all of us. And if not, I will see you on Monday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.